Ep gets mad I saved her kid's life and tried to press charges. I never thought I'd be posting here, but this just recently happened. Week ago. I'm almost graduating high school and I have a job at the supermarket. Bagging items, stocking merchandise, etc. But I'm still shaken up and decided this place would be a good place to put my experience. This day it was pretty rainy, so there were barely any people in the store and I was fixing any products that were out of order. I was just chilling since there was barely anything to do. Ep and Ek come strolling into the store and I don't pay mind to the woman because she has that "can I speak to the manager" haircut. I'm already kinda wearily of this woman, so I try to mind my own business and do my job. She sees me and rolls her eyes muttering something about lazy teenagers, even though I have a job, but whatever, and she asks me rudely without a please or anything where the drinks are. I tell her which aisle and she loudly exclaims, "Excuse me, why are you gonna take me there, or what? Take me there now, or I'll speak to the manager. This is why you get paid." I only nod and don't say anything. So I take her to where the drinks are, and she doesn't say thanks or anything, only scoffs and pushes me away. So I'm fixing some stuff that fell onto the floor not too far away, and I see Ek climbing onto the ledge where the drinks are. "Excuse me, we just mopped the floor so it's slippery, and plus your son can't be climbing that. It can fall or he can get hurt." I say this as politely as possible, and I don't want to get in trouble cause of some kid. You know, applying to colleges and a record won't do me any good. She gives me a nasty glare and snaps, "Don't tell me how to raise my child. Mind your own fucking business." Her kid is still climbing the ledge part where the alcohol is, and I'm getting more anxious just looking at this kid. So while the mom is busy, I go to him and ask, "Hey, can you please get off? You can get hurt." He starts screaming for his mother, and she comes running like a mad bull. She asks him if he's okay and if I hurt him, and he tells her she's not letting me play. She starts yelling at me and insulting me, calling me stupid and whatnot. She threatens me that she knows the manager and she will get me fired. She tells me to fuck off and continues to shop for wine while her kid is climbing on that ledge, and I get this bad feeling when I see him jump down hard and everything starts to shake. I run and tackle this kid to the ground to push him out of the way, then right at that moment the whole drinks fall onto the ground. There is red everywhere since it was part of the wine aisle, and I see myself badly cut. The kid is crying, probably because I pushed him, and the mom comes running and she starts shrieking like a banshee. This stupid teenager tried to kill my son, and I told her that I literally saved her son's life since he could have been crushed or hurt badly by the glass. My thigh is bleeding since it got cut, and she grabs my arm, digging her nails into my arm. "You are not going anywhere," impressing charges and calling the police, "you murderer." I think I want to cry because I'm losing blood, and she has a strong grip of my arm. The police arrive, and I'm literally about to be escorted as the Ep watches me smugly when the manager comes running. I explain everything to him since he's known me since elementary and I'm not an evil child killer. He tells me he has everything on camera, and I almost cry in relief. The Ep seems to go a little pale, but is still insistent on pressing charges at me and the store, demanding that I be arrested for assault of her kid. The police review everything, and even an eyewitness who saw and heard everything pitches in. The manager and police said I did the right thing and say I can press charges because Ep hurt my arm pretty badly. She's still fuming and now is threatening the police, so she's taken away and arrested. The kid is picked up by whom I presume is his dad, and I'm taken to the hospital to treat the glass shards in my leg. If I'm badly hurt from a few shards of glass, I can't imagine what would have happened if the kid was still there climbing. I don't think I could forgive myself if I had let him get hurt. Edit. Thanks for the golden sliver, stranger. Also, to those asking if I'm pressing charges, yes. First, she hurt me pretty bad. Her grasp left some marks and a bruise, and the manager is pressing charges too because she left over $5,000 in damages by breaking a lot of expensive alcohol. Edit 2. So a lot of people are asking how the police believed Ep but not me. They weren't arresting me, but escorting me elsewhere to question me, since Ep kept on interjecting and screaming. I basically feared the worst, since there were no witnesses, I had thought, and some part of our store has a blind spot with no cameras. Luckily there was a camera and a witness. Edit 3. Wow, thanks for platinum. Edit 4. Thanks for another gold. Wow. The manager was in his office, I believe, since it was a slow day and there wasn't a lot of people. The police was there first, because Ep called them, and told them I assaulted her son, since I pushed him out of the way and maybe he had a bruise, but he wasn't really hurt. I'll try to answer all your questions. X steals my wet towel turban and M freaks out when she realizes I'm a social worker. L right, so this happened about 5 years ago when I was working as a newly qualified social worker. I know, lynch mob me, I don't anymore, it was a nightmare. It has been a rough morning and long story short, I had spit and vomit on me. As pretty standard practice, I kept a spare set of court clothes in my car, so I had something to change into, but I felt pretty disgusting and wanted a shower. So I took an early lunch and went to my gym nearby the office to shower and change. I showered, came out and put my hair up into a towel turban, and walked to go back to the lockers. Changing area was empty except for one kid, a boy about 8/9. A bit weird for him to be alone, but I assumed his mum must have been in the only occupied stall, so I didn't think too much of it. I smiled to acknowledge him, and got to my locker, to grab my things to change into. At this point, the boy, Ek, looked at me, pointed at my towel turban and said, "What's that?" Me, "Oh, it's a towel turban. Pretty neat, huh? It stays up better than a regular towel." Ek, "Cool." And started to reach for my head. Me, "Excuse me, what are you doing?" Ek, "I just want to see it." Me, "No, I'm using it, sorry." At this point in my life, I'm pretty used to kids being a bit inappropriate, and it's my job to make sure they understand, but I wasn't expecting here. He looked a bit pissed, but went back to his mum's phone. I get dressed quickly and get my things to go over to the mirror and take the turban off to hair dry my hair. I'm flipping my hair around to get it dried, and I notice that this kid comes up to the mirror, then leaves again. I think nothing of it and finish drying my hair, turn the hairdryer off, reach for my turban, and it isn't there. I know what he's done, and I whip around and look at him, and he's turning a shade of red, but staring fixedly on his phone so as to ignore me. I'm trying to remain calm, but Christ, I've been spat at, vomited on, and now someone has stolen my towel turban. I walk back over and do my best I've had enough of this bullshittery voice, and say please return the turban. Now, he keeps ignoring me, so I repeat please return the turban. Now, he's gone a huge shade of red, refuses to look at me, and mumbles something like I didn't take it. I've had it at this point, so go over to the only occupied stall and knock on the door excuse me, is this your son out here? M opens the door and looks at me through Leonid. M, what? Me, is this your son? He has taken my towel turban. I have asked for it back, but he is not returning it. Please ask him to hand it back, and I'll not inform the gym staff. M, what the fuck is a towel turban? I start to explain, but X says it's a hair towel that stays up better than a normal towel. We both look at him, and she says M, okay, so what do you want? Me, I want my towel turban back please. M, well, he wouldn't just take something, you obviously just lost it. You shouldn't go around accusing people because you lose things. Me, getting annoyed, well, he will have no problem then emptying his bag. If he has it, he can just hand it back, and if I'm mistaken, I will apologize. M looks at Ek, and it's obvious to anyone that he's lying, but she just says M, don't be fucking stupid, I'm not letting you rummage through his things, like he's some kind of thief. Look at you, you are harassing a little boy in a changing room. I inhale to try and stop my eyes doing a 360-degree roll, and say me, I'm not asking to touch anything. I'm asking for you to go through his bag for my turban. That is all. If you are not willing, I will go to the staff and ask them to sort this out. I know it's just a freaking towel turban, but theft is theft, and it's pink and cute, so I'm not letting anyone have it. M, so you're threatening me now? I know a circular argument when I hear one, so I go to the door, lean out and call for someone to come and sort it out. Enter gym trainer Jude, GTD. GTD, what's going on? He looks between the three of us, and the kid has gone back to staring a hole through the phone, and M positions herself between GTD and Ek. This crazy bitch is harassing my son and trying to go through his bag. She needs throwing out. Me, that isn't what happened. Her son has taken my towel turban, and I would like it returned. I just keep looking at this kid, and GTD says GTD, okay, so what happened, mate? Did you take the towel? Ek mumbles something about how I must have lost it, and M jumps in and says see. He didn't take it. He's so traumatized he can barely say anything. She then bends down to him and hugs him, saying back quote, it'll be alright, and she back quote, won't let me get away with this, very dramatically. I look at GTD and explain the whole event, and he says GTD, okay, so why don't we just check his bag? X starts dramatically wailing, and M starts ranting about how this is harassment. GTD looks uncomfortable and says back quote, that's literally the only way I think I can solve this. M then stands up and tries to push past me, but I'm not moving, and the room is small, so fails. She starts swearing and thrusts the kid's backpack at GTD, saying, GM, fine. Check it. He hasn't taken it, and when you don't find it, I want her thrown out. You to apologize and get the manager. Ek wails. GTD obviously finds the pink wet turban towel in the bag. He picks it up and kinda just looks at it. Ek wails even more and tries to grab it, but GTD holds it out of his reach. GTD, right, so, this is yours? Me, yes, thank you. I stuff the back quote coveted turban towel into my bag and get out my car's keys and ID lanyard. As I put the lanyard over my head, something audibly clicked in M's head. That's a social worker ID. She yanks X's arm, snatches the bag from GTD, and I move to let her pass. GTD looks super confused, and I explain that she must have just been embarrassed that her son stole my turban. But I knew she was panicking because she realized what my job was, and that her son was out of school stealing pink wet turban towels.